Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday Motivation, Inspiration, and I'm sorry that there have been some things in my personal life that has took me from my true mission. And like all the great people who came before me, which I claim not to be myself, but all of the prophets and everybody who came before me, they talked in stories because it was easy for people to understand things from stories. Back in the day, in the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, Prophet Isa, Prophet Musa, Jesus, Moses, Ibrahim, Abraham, they all called it parables. And for some strange reason, they had the ability to speak to somebody who never had an education, somebody who never was a scholar, they had this remarkable ability to speak to everyone at once, which is a miracle in itself. And I say that because what people don't realize is I could just tell you about me. And one of the greatest lessons that I believe, because God isn't talking to me at all, like when you break up with your girlfriend and she don't talk to you, God ain't talking to me at all, and he used to. But God stopped talking to me because I stopped talking to y'all, because I listened to Satan, jinns, whispers, the devil, anything that you want to portray or call, what is just evil at the end of the day. It's evil. And when God stopped talking to me, the devil came to me and he said, if you shut up, I will give you everything that your heart desires. I will give you the money, the car, etc., etc. If you just shut up, I will give you anything your heart desired. And that scared the living shit out of me. Excuse my word for this being Sunday, but there is no holy day. There is only days. And the holiest day is the day that you wake up and you breathe God's air. I never heard of any of the prophets speaking inside of a building, except for the temple that Abraham, may God forgive me for adding, take away, that Abraham built. But I always, and I'm going to revisit these things, I always heard God speak from people to in the open space. They say Jesus gave, Prophet Isa, he gave speeches on a mound. What does that mean? It means on top of a hill. It was not in the church. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm just trying to say that when you read and you study, you will instantly become Satan's enemy. And he just told me, I will give you anything. That sickness, that withdrawal, that stuff you're going through, I will give you anything. That woman, that beautiful woman that you want, I will give it to you. Everything your heart desires, I will give to you. Without even recognizing that even though God did not physically talk to me, there were people who rode up and just was like, Capo, I seen you. I just want to tell you, what's up, man? You need something? You good? And the parable is that my arrogance before now, and I'm talking about before now, was to think I really understood God. I read a book, and I pray none of y'all read it, but just in case you do, you will get the same thing I got. I read a book, and it was called Conversation with God. As close as I am with him, I should have knew that book was a tragedy to even try to read. Even for me to try to understand what a conversation with God would be like. And through the whole book, God is just cussing you out. And he just used this person to tell you, you have no understanding of me. I know how many hairs is on your head. I know how many pieces of sand is on the beach. I know your future, your past, and your present. I do not need you, nor do I require your help. And that was a whoa moment for me. Because I really believe that the people who I spoke to, I speak to them based upon my own understanding. And I don't. There are people who I have helped that even if I wanted to be mute, meaning could not speak, and God chose for me to help those people, I still would have done it with something that doesn't require speech. I would have died. I would have had a miracle. Something would have happened. People would have seen me not be able to walk, sit in a wheelchair, and walk past them. Miracles are present every day. And I say that because I really thought about shutting up. But I must tell you, in the midst of me shutting up, I thought about ending my own life, which in the Bible it clearly states. In the Torah, it clearly states. In the Quran, it clearly states that this is something that you don't want to do. You can suffer, you can go through pain. You do not want to kill yourself because that is unforgiving. And it makes perfect sense. Everything on this earth I can ask God to forgive me for. I can't ask him for forgiveness once I kill myself because I will be in front of him. And he will ask me, Yo, I've given you strength to deal with anything that I allow you to be on this earth for. What was it that you did not believe in me enough to ask for my help? That you thought that you were powerful enough, that your arrogance allowed you to understand that you could have changed anything that I have put on this earth. So, when you kill yourself, you basically set an example for everyone else around you, or for times that people need to know that there will be a time where you have nothing but me. And if you didn't learn that lesson, maybe I will use you as an example to teach other people there is nothing that I have given you that I cannot take. There is nothing that I have took from you that I did not know the reason why I did so. And the moment you start to think you know why, you start to curse the very thing which might have saved your life. And when I say that, I'm not talking about stuff that I don't know. I'm talking about stuff that I know. I'm not talking about questions that I have for God and He hasn't talked to me or answered me. I'm talking about stuff that I know. For instance, when I was 5 years old, my grandmom had a house at 3rd and Leon. I'm at Master down Puerto Rican land. My uncle was the leader of Zulu Nation. And then my other uncle, Robbie, was like his right-hand man. And then Jeremiah and Paco, all the rest of them, right? I had no idea who the fuck Zulu Nation was. I had no idea. But I knew that I seen these people who came around me and they got respect from everyone. Everyone. And I had to realize, everywhere I go, these people are telling me, you L.E. grandson, right? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm all the way up the street near Lehigh in the playground playing basketball. How the fuck do you know who I am? Because, like, God don't move the way we move. He don't talk the way we talk. He is above and beyond all of our understanding. So sometimes you just got to listen to what's around you. And when I say this, the reason I don't have a picture up is because, like, I cut hair. I learned that from my mother, who cut hair for 25 years. Had the longest existing hair salon in North Philadelphia history. I learned just by watching her. So my appearance will always deceive what you feel or what you receive based upon what I give out. So you never will understand what I'm going through because I don't look like it. Now let's talk about that for a very brief moment. Some people don't understand that there is no distinguishness between an angel or a demon. I'll give you proof. Okay, I'll give you proof. Heaven was created before anything. And demons was not created until the angel Satan did not bow to Adam. That's the first time jealousy was created. And he said, I ain't bow to him. And God kicked him and everybody who felt that same way out. So how can something that existed in heaven be different once it is cast out? Once again, something above my pay grade. I have no answer for you. But I know that the devil isn't this evil creature that people put on TV and they show and they walk around. No, he was God's right-hand man. He was in charge of worship. They say he was the most beautiful thing that God created before Adam. These are all things you can fact check and do whatever you want to do. So we wonder why we're looking for an enemy we have no knowledge on. The devil is not some monster with 4 horns. It's that girl. It's that car. It's that last flip. It's that thing that seems beautiful to you, but in actuality, it has evil intent. I say all of this because when the devil approached me and he said, you can have everything that you want, I had no knowledge of what I had. I had no idea that I woke up this morning. I had no idea that my life was made way more important. My health is way more important than possessions. If we want to get scientific about it, the smartest man that's living is in a wheelchair and he can't even move his face or his hands, nothing. That's what they say. He's the smartest person on earth. But I still come to you with very specific things. Only things that I know. And what I know will always exude or go further than what I act or what I present myself to be. That's why I don't put myself on anything when I speak his name. This video is blacked out for a reason, because this ain't about me. I'm just as fucked up as all of y'all are. But I noticed that when I preach to myself, and when I preach to you, I get something that I have been asking God about from my own mouth. And I'm sorry, it isn't a person, it isn't a thing, it's not something that you can see, it's not something that you can hear. We are waiting for God to send us a like or emoji on Facebook like he on Facebook. God is above and beyond all of our understanding. And what he put into motion has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with his plan, and you can't figure out his plan even though you try to on a daily basis. You try to understand something that created wind, something that created squirrels, something that created monkeys, something that created the ocean and everything that's inside the ocean, something that created the moon, something that created the stars that we can't even see. You really expect to understand him. It is totally arrogant and disrespectful. We will never understand God until we are in front of him. Which I ain't rushing, but most importantly, I want him to know me when I stand before him. Oh, you such and such. Yeah. See, and people don't understand powerful things. I know people don't understand powerful things. They don't understand me. If I had the wrong conversation around certain people, they will basically be like, okay, we going off this person in their life. I don't have those conversations because my power is worldly. It's not spiritual. So I don't act out on my power. What I do is, regardless of what I have to go through, I would never switch sides. My loyalty, my integrity is too high. I'm not going to switch sides. And I know that I'm fighting a battle that has already been won, or I can't win. I'm already fighting something that is greater than me. So I'm stopped fighting. I don't know anything. The one thing I do know is that I don't know anything. Every time I try to know something, every time I try to put myself in a situation where I was smarter than or better than, I've always been crippled and humbled. And people who I thought were weaker than me ended up conquering me because I underestimated the power of nothingness. If the Bible says that God takes care of babies and fools, and the Quran says the same thing, may Allah forgive me for adding and taking it away, but it says the same thing, but in a different way, then I really think that I can walk up to a fool and outsmart them. No, you can't. You can never do anything against something that is protected by God. It could be the stupidest person on earth. You will find yourself being used by that person that you thought you were better than. you will find yourself a footstool over someone that you thought you were better than, or you knew more than. Because the God of my understanding tells me that when I think I know him, I am at the weakest point of knowing him. Because it's only once I realize that I do not know him that he comes. It's only when I accept the fact that I don't have any answers that he gives me answers. It's only when I have nothing that he gives me something. So how can I claim to know him when everything I did based upon my own understanding has backfired on me, only to bring me to a place where I know him best? Majority of my life has been jail. The other side of my life has been some sort of addiction. It's very few times in my life that it's been peace, because peace is not something I am worthy of. Peace is something that is given freely to me. And once I start to believe that I've earned something, God is not the person who you negotiate with. So the moment you start thinking you deserve something, he takes everything from you. Because you are arrogant to believe that you did something for someone who does not need you for anything. Once again, this is your boy Decopbo, aka Wilson Decopbo, Washington, with Sunday Motivation Inspiration. And I pray for everyone, because he told me secrets. He told me codes. He said if I pray for something for someone else and I say I mean, not only will God give it to that person, he will give it to me also. And I pray I am never arrogant again to think I know what God's purpose or his will is. I pray no one thinks they are on God's level to understand him. Decopbo.